Hey everyone, thank you so much for clicking on this interview. This is an incredibly exciting video because I'm going to be interviewing, in my opinion, one of the bravest documentary makers that we've had in the last few years. That's right, I'm going to be interviewing Mariana van Zeller from Trafficked, and you can actually watch her series on National Geographic right now. Guys, I would seriously recommend that you check her out. She has been doing documentaries and interviews on the black market for 15 years now. So she's absolutely incredible. She knows what she's doing. She's courageous, she's brave, because she's putting herself in incredibly dangerous situations, life-threatening situations, in order to uncover the truth. And that is something that, as a documentary maker myself, someone that's worked in that industry, that enjoys seeking out the truth, it's definitely something that I aspire towards. So she's a massive role model of mine, and I definitely am very excited to have the privilege to actually interview her in this video today. But if you guys are interested in my interviews like this, then go ahead and click up on the little icon that's just appeared right now. You can also see my other true crime documentary interview that I did there with Andy Hale, who was a producer on the film White Boy. So seriously guys, if you are at all curious about other true crime interviews, check out that playlist, but let's jump right into it. Thank you so much for joining. I just really have to say thank you so much. I'm a massive fan from a filmmaking point of view. I think what you do is incredible. You are incredibly brave, a massive role model to me.
Thank you for having me.
But yes, once again, I just want to say thank you so much for joining. And I'm just going to jump right into questions if that's okay with you. And now question one, you are constantly putting yourself in incredibly dangerous situations. So how do you mentally prepare for that? You're interacting and engaging with people who are dangerous, and they're known to be dangerous. So how do you get yourself in the right mindset, and how do you almost hype yourself up and get yourself ready to engage with these individuals?
Mm-hmm. You know, I'm incredibly passionate about what I do. It's my dream job. It's what I've always wanted to do. And so it never feels like a job for me. It never feels like something that I don't want to do. I always say that journalism is the only profession that pays me to satisfy my own curiosity, and how lucky I am because of that. So there isn't a lot of mental preparation. I don't, I don't need a lot of mental preparation. I'm just excited. I actually get, anxious if I'm not out there reporting. So it's quite the opposite. The mental preparation needs to happen when I'm locked up at home and I can't go out in the field and sort of explore these black markets and underworlds. But, I say that after every story, I think I'm incredibly lucky. I work with a team that they're very much like my family. We travel all around the world together, and I make it mandatory for us all at the end of a shoot day, if we have time, to sit down over a drink, usually a glass of wine, or a meal, and talk about the events of that day, because we go through a lot. We see a lot of terrible things. And so talking, it's our little mini therapy on the road that I think goes a long way.
So talking about being on the road, I just want to ask you, and I've been a cameraman myself who's worked on documentaries, I understand that even though we're not necessarily always on screen, we're there in that situation. We are exposed to just as much danger sometimes to those on the front end of the camera. So I just want to ask you, in regards to that, how do you feel your cast and crew responds to being put in these situations? Do you think they enjoy it as much as you do? Do they have any rituals that they have to get ready?
Yeah, I think very much the same way that I do. I really think the best camera crew in the world. It took them a lot of time to get to the level of professionalism that they are in right now. We handpicked the best of the best, and people that we thought could work in these very difficult and dangerous environments, but they are as passionate as I am. And so they also, they're doing their dream jobs. And I think that what changes in the field sometimes is the sort of level of risk that people are willing to do. And that's very important, that we make sure we always huddle before doing anything, filming anything, going anywhere, to make sure that everybody's comfortable with the risk that we're taking on ourselves at the time. And that changes from person to person or from time to time. I always say that in my mind, in a battle between fear and curiosity, that curiosity always wins. So fear is usually never there. And that sometimes takes me to risky and sort of sticky situations. But then I really have my team to sort of help me, ground me.
Well, honestly, I do have to say you have got an incredibly amazing crew. There were so many shots they got that just blew my mind, because the truth of the matter is they're in situations where you can't just ask, like, hey, would you mind refilming that? I didn't quite get it. These shots are one and done. You can't refilm these. These are real time. So I think they did an absolutely amazing job. Honestly, top tier. And then I want to get back into this. Like, what is the scariest situation you have ever found yourself in?
There have been several. We were out in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean in the dark night with big waves, jumping onto a boat that we believed was fishing illegally. And that was not an easy situation. We were with a Colombian cartel trying to get an interview with a woman who was one of the leaders of the cartel. And just as we started interviewing, we heard commotion all around us. They grabbed her, the security guards with AK-47s, took her to safety, yelled at us to leave. We're running out of there. And as we're leaving the compound, we hear the shots being fired. They had just been ambushed by the rival cartel. So there are definitely a lot of sort of sticky moments while filming Trafficked. But again, we have so much experience. I've been covering black markets for 20 years. There is so much work that people don't see goes into making sure that we're minimizing the risk always, that there's procedures in place and plans to make sure that obviously no story is worth a life. And that is always at the top of our minds.
I just have to say, I am truly amazed by your courage. And we've spoken about this before. You've engaged with incredibly immoral characters, people that are twisted, people that have had their backs turned on them by society. So I want to know, with your engagements with these people, and again, I've never engaged with these people, I only know these individuals through your interviews, but these seem like arguably some of the worst people on the face of the earth. So I just want to ask you, when you are constantly engaging with individuals like this, has this at all impacted your perception of humanity and the human spirit in any way, shape, or form?
Yes, but not towards the place where you think. I think most people assume that because I'm doing a show about black markets and seeing such awful things and meeting criminals and traffickers, that I'd have a very negative view of the world. And I think it's quite the opposite, where I've realized that even when I travel to the deep, dark edges of our society, that I can still find people that are relatable, that are redeemable, that are a lot more like us than we'd like to admit. And I found that it's actually not very difficult to make connections, to humanize these people. They are human beings. They're people just like us. And the majority of times it's because of a lack of opportunity and because of unemployment and poverty that people sort of choose these or are forced into this life of crime. Not always, but the majority of times. And until we address the root cause of these black markets, we're never going to be able to stop them from happening or from existing.
Honestly, Mariana, I just want to say thank you so much. I really appreciate the fact that you've taken your time out to join me today. But guys, thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed the interview, please give a like. Subscribe to this channel if you want to see more interviews just like this. And also comment down below your thoughts on this interview as well as the topics that we covered. But guys, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it, and I hope to see you again in another video. Hey everyone, thank you so much for watching another one of my videos. It really does mean the world to me. For those of you that are unaware, I've recently partnered up with Zapcast, and I'm currently hosting 2 of their shows, the ABCs of Content Creation and the Weekly Fundamentals. So if you are at all interested, jump across to their socials and check them out.